Hey guys, it's me, Jade Sims. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Over the course of the last few months, this channel has grown exponentially. So greetings to everyone who has subscribed recently, and if you haven't already subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that? This Create a Sim video is but one of many that I uploaded on YouTube, so I'll give you a couple of seconds to peruse my channel. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Now here's a little something I heard from the grapevine. Allegedly, once I reach 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 followers on TikTok, there'll be a giveaway for 1 pack of the winner's choice. Now if anyone asks, I didn't say anything. What did Beyonce say? Look around everybody on what? Mute. Okay. In this video, I am creating an orc family. This option wasn't too popular on the poll I posted on my channel's community tab, but it was one I not so secretly wanted to make, probably my most desired spooky video. For weeks, I was longing to make this video, and if you're acquainted with the channel, you likely noticed I did not post a poll last week. The reason being I wanted to go astray and do what I wanted. I know it's a little cheeky, but my heart demanded I made this family. And here we are. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoy this Create a Sim because I poured a lot of love into crafting their backstory, looking into their origins, finding CC, and I devoted a lot of time into their development. If you're not a consumer of fantasy, regardless of the art form, books, movies, games, art, etc., you may or may not be familiar with what an orc is. Now, I don't want to belittle your knowledge and assume anything, so for those who are unaware, an orc is typically a green, strong, mythical creature resembling humans slightly, but having their own defining characteristics. They are popularly known from the Lord of the Rings, D&D, and World of Warcraft, but the creatures are not exclusive to any one story. Different art offers unique interpretations, and mine varies greatly. Before I get into that though, I would like to explain more about them, specifically from The Lord of the Rings. Madeline Carpow from the Mary Sue details more about orcs in their article entitled, What is an Orc in The Lord of the Rings? I attained a lot of my information from this article and wanted to give them their deserved credit in aiding my knowledge, so check out this article if you're interested. The link will be in the description down below. Carpow quotes J.R.R. Tolkien, the creator of The Lord of the Rings, from the book The Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, a collection of his letters posthumously published by his son Christopher Tolkien. In letter 210, he writes, The orcs are definitely stated to be corruptions of the human form seen in elves and men. They are squat, broad, flat-nosed, sallow-skinned with wide mouths and slant eyes. In fact, degraded and repulsive versions of the least lovely Mongol types. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to recognize that Tolkien created their appearances off of a caricature? How do you say that word? Of East Asians, a product of yellow peril, which was theorized by Carpow. It's very interesting how they were made to be specifically the most malevolent, irredeemable creatures while resembling the ethnic group and are East Asian coded. My take flips this idea on its head in terms of personality and offers a more humanizing perspective, one that isn't so one-dimensional. To preface, I don't say this to hold Tolkien in contempt, but to show the realities behind an infamous character and to take note of the time period in which they were created. World of Warcraft has their own unique take on orcs, and I wanted to familiarize you all with it as well. According to Wowpedia, there is an uncorrupted orc, the Maghar, and in their lore, a demon called Kil'jaeden corrupted the original orcs and turned them into the evil horde we know of. The orcs then waged wars, invaded, and conquered. There were times of peace occasionally, but war was a rampant theme in their story. I drew inspiration from the aforementioned art, and you may notice similarities between mine and others. In my tale, orcs are known to be proficient in combat and skilled fighters as well. The orcs were broken into clans, and each clan is distinct and known for their unique features, physically and into their own specialties. Did I say that word weird? I don't know. The 2 adults in this family come from different clans, but all orcs were united due to a war that was waged on them by the aristocratic elite creatures, consisting of high elves and more who thought it was their duty to purify the nation and instill a new one. To preface, orcs had a history of conquering nations, but have repented for their sins by first restoring land to the conquered, expanding their rights, and allowing for social mobility. Thus, prior to the invasion of elves and company, there was a positive peace. However, the war forced all clans to unite to face the imperial power. But unfortunately they lost. Consequently, the orc race wholly declined and the elves took over, establishing a new society in which the pre-existing orcs were ousted to the hovels of the nation and forced into poverty. This family is a depiction of a poor family post-war, and you'll understand more about their backstory as the video progresses. Now to finally introduce you to the Skira family. Their name, by the way, I thought translated to poor in Norse, but it does not. I believe it is the Icelandic verb meaning to frighten or deflect. Regardless, I gave them the surname to show the impacts of the elf colonization, which erased their culture and their names. The first person you saw in this video is Thorul Skira, the patriarch of this large family. His clans of orcs have a more saturated skin tone than his wife's clan, which you'll see later. He, like all orcs, is tall and has a bigger build. He has these menacing amber eyes. His body is ridden with scars, and he has long hair and an even longer beard. In spite of this stony facade, he's a softie to his core. His motivation in life is his family and is responsible to be their sole provider. The only job he could get after war was a soldier because the society upholds a stereotype that all orcs are angry, irrational, and only excel in fighting. Though I think all of the rejects of society were forced to be soldiers, simply because the elves thought that their lives were expendable and less valuable. So the warriors have formed their own secret coalition and are a collection of unlikely friends. Thorul is a part of this group, and I'd like to see if they could successfully enact an uprising in their favor. Thorul is often working to sustain his family, although his efforts are unrewarded as they are still very impoverished. It takes a lot to maintain his family, but he will do whatever it takes. He's typically in his work clothes, but on his limited off days, he'll be seen in his laid-back dad outfit with these adorable spectacles he uses to read since he loves books. Next in this video, you'll see Irsa Skira, the matriarch of the family. She is Thorul's twin flame and soulmate. She was also a warrior, and she met her husband during the war. At first, they were competitive since they matched each other's abilities, but they fell in love and had tons of children, as you can see. You can also see a tattoo on her chest from the all-female militia she was a leader of. Unfortunately, in this new society, she could not continue as a leader since it was restricted to males. She has now assumed a caretaker role and is completely engulfed as a mother though. She loves her children with her life, but from time to time wonders if there was a possibility for her career to expand. The orcs of her village have a less vibrant skin color in comparison to her husband, though equally beautiful. They have longer teeth and darker eyes. Irsa has this gorgeous long hair that I often change in this video. You will not see the final hair in the speedcast, but at the end you'll see her hair in the screenshots. For both Irsa and Thorul, I made the choice to give them these lines on their forehead to further distinguish them from humans. The intermixing of their clan is apparent in their children, and their genetics are apparent in interesting ways. Speaking of their children though, Irsa is a complete mama bear. She understands the world does not accommodate her kind, so she is especially cautious of them. If anyone tries her children, she will not hesitate to retaliate. She has softened after having children, and like her husband, would do anything for them. Now to move to some personal matters. I was gonna create a pose on Blender for the thumbnail, and I was so excited to do so. I had this whole idea to release it on Patreon, but I did not allocate enough time for me to do so. For some reason, I thought I was a superhuman and like just delusional because I thought I'd instantly excel at Blender, but I have not given up yet. It may take me a while, but I am determined to make some CC. So you guys can give me some ideas, although I am not proficient at all, of some CC ideas you might want to see. I think I'm leaning to making like jewelry, maybe hairs, but poses, that kind of thing, which might come in handy for like storytelling for the future. Just saying. I have like so many ideas for when I get my new PC. The longer I wait to make my PC, the more expensive it gets. So hopefully that'll be here soon. Honestly, it might be a little boring to hear this from me, but I am constantly searching for parts every single day. And I hope those Black Friday sales, those Cyber Monday sales will come in clutch for me because, oh my God, it's gonna have such an effect on my bank account. I don't even know if I can recover from this financially. So hit that like button to keep me in check, to give me some hope for the future of my finances. You know I need it desperately. I have so many ideas for Let's Plays and I can't wait to execute them because I'll be focused more on Let's Plays when I get my PC, which I keep saying when I get my PC. It's gonna be here anytime soon. Maybe, like I said, maybe next year. I'm aspiring to have it next year, which by the way, next year I hope to get to 1,000 subscribers, which I feel like we're gonna get, but 1,000 followers on TikTok seems to be the hardest. So please help me out if you want to have a chance to win that giveaway. Can you believe we're almost done with this spooky season videos? I can't. Honestly, I feel like it's been forever for me being a consistent YouTuber, but I've only been uploading for around 2 months. Sounds insane to me, but YouTube has completely penetrated my mind, and it's all that I think of, which is great because I have these amazing ideas that I can't wait to execute, but that's boring to talk about. I love this style of releasing videos, just releasing them in seasons or having a theme. Honestly, when I was going to have a Barbie Legacy Challenge that I drafted, I don't know if you guys know this, but I had written an entire Barbie Legacy Challenge. I might have talked about it in my other videos. I had this whole legacy that I wrote and crafted for myself from ground up way before the Barbie movie even came out. And I was planning on changing my entire channel to be Barbie themed, like the header, the profile, everything, just changing my entire channel to be focused on Barbie. So I like this style of releasing content like seasons or having a general theme. That's why I like the Zodiac Criticism series, just because I have a whole theme to focus on, and I enjoy having something that grounds me to one specific area of interest, so I don't have to be so all over the place, to put it simply. And I know I've tired you guys by talking about my love for fantasy. However, I'm still undecided on whether or not I should upload this family to my fantasy save. I'm still undecided because the world that I created for them requires very specific situations that I don't think I can get with The Sims 4. And I think the world I drafted up is a little bit more interesting than anything that The Sims 4 can offer, to be honest. So I probably won't. Another factor being my PC cannot handle the world building I need for this world that I created. But maybe then, when I get my PC, I can add them to the world. One day I'll look back on this video and be like, I finally got this. I finally achieved my dreams. But until then, we're grinding to get my PC. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place with this video and this voiceover, but I've been watching this YouTuber Fruity Trait create their save file, and I know they haven't uploaded in a while, which is so sad, but I was inspired to create my own set of videos with my own save file after the series or after the season ends. So I would like to know what you guys think on this and give me your input. Maybe you want to see me create my own save file. I think the format would be a lot of speed creative sims, a lot of speed builds, but maybe I can switch it up and do some real-time creative sims and builds if you guys like. I personally prefer real-time creative sims and builds, but with my current setup, that is a little impossible to do because I don't have a proper mic and the setup will be a little weird to do. But like I said, when I get my new PC, I think you're sensing a common theme right now, if you haven't already. Moving on to the firstborn of the family, Venkatskira. Venkat is a mischievous child with the sleuth trait. This trait I got from the More Traits mod by Tripless if you're interested. He tries to solve mysteries in the village and gets in trouble frequently, way more frequently than his parents would like, because he's nosy and gets in people's businesses. He also has no filter and he is a goofball, never hesitating to speak his mind even when it is dangerous to do so. Because he is the firstborn, he is quite protective of his family. He reveres his father, and due to this and the expectations from his father, guards his family. Venkat is partners in crime with his younger brother and sister, but he catalyzes the pranks. He sometimes steals food since he feels obligated to as the eldest sibling. As a naive child though, while he understands what consequences are, he doesn't necessarily understand that he gets different consequences from other creatures. To return to a previous topic I initiated, Venkat has these birthmarks on his face to show the different skin tones from his parents. He has his mother's skin tone, but his father's is peeking in through the birthmark. He also has his mother's eyes and I believe his mother's features. You can make that determination for yourself as well as for the rest of the children. If you notice, I had to age the children to adults to ensure their orc features were visible and they didn't look like ordinary humans. Just so you know, these outfits are largely by Lady Moriel on Tumblr and Plaza Sims, so if you're impatient for the CC Finds video releasing on Halloween Day, I have treated you. The second eldest child is Sibiskira. To describe in one word, he is just a sweetie. This is yet another trait from the Tripless Child Traits mod, just in case you were interested. He is shy and soft-spoken, contrasting his appearance. He is the scariest looking of the bunch, attributed to his father's eyes. And being perceived as scary makes it even harder for him to assimilate and harder for him to make friends. He wants to be a writer and was gifted a journal from his mother. She learned that CB is sensitive to his surroundings and has given him an outlet to release his feelings. His relationship with his father is equally adorable, and they're a great pairing since CB likes to write and Thorul loves to read. Tragically, his aspiration is to be a social butterfly. He simply just wants to make friends, but he has it the hardest in that aspect. I feel for him, and I love him so much. Honestly, he just deserves a big hug. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear police sirens. I apologize. I'm one of those SimTubers who also constantly consume Sims content. I don't really care. I love watching Let's Plays, Creative Sims builds. And right now, I like watching Let's Plays. The one I'm watching right now is by Miss Lollipop Sims, her Joy of Life challenge. That one has inspired me so much. I also love her other Horse Ranch Let's Play. I think it's just because of the world. That world is so gorgeous, and I had my own ideas for that world when I get it, which is not anytime in the future. As you know, my finances are in a dire state right now. But I also like watching real-time builds by Delicacy and Devin Bumpkin. Devin Bumpkin is like my favorite real-time builder. He's so funny. I love all of his videos, and his builds are stunning. Like, the amount of talent is unfathomable. I think his build style is perfect because it is clean. It's not overly cluttered, but it is so well executed, and he often makes these English builds, but he's inspired by all types of architecture, which is so exciting to watch. I don't know about you guys, and this is no shade, but I am a little bit tired of watching these suburban houses be built, and I like seeing different cultures and different societies and how their architecture looks like. As for Creative Sim content on YouTube, my go-to was Claire Siobhan, but she's been on a year hiatus, I think, because she had her child, Theodore, and I'm so happy for her, but I do crave her videos, and she was like my favorite Sims tuber ever, and I think a lot of you can relate. She was so big, and rightfully so. Her content was amazing, and she as a human was so nice. I even liked watching her regular streams. I loved watching her play horror games. That was so fun to watch, but I'll be waiting for the day that she returns to YouTube. I'll be having my notifications on. I don't care what kind of content it is at this point. I just want her to return, although I respect that she needs time with her baby. I fully get that. I'm intrigued to hear your guys' favorite YouTubers or SimTubers in the comments below, so let me know what you guys think and what kind of formats do you like. And I presented a lot of ideas too for future content, so you guys can let me know your input down below. Tona Skira is the next child in this Creative Sim. With her eldest brother, she can be an accomplice to Venkat's schemes, much to the dismay of CB, who just goes along with what his siblings do. She is a replica of her father and the only one to have her father's skin tone. Thorul sees himself in her both physically and mentally, so she is a daddy's girl through and through. She is a vegetarian and loves animals. In the future, I could see her becoming a vet to the mythical creatures of the world. Tona is also book and street smart. In fact, she uses her lying abilities to get her and her siblings out of the precarious situations that Venkat puts them in. The second youngest child in this family is the toddler, Asni Skira. To preface, my toddler CC was limited and I thought I had downloaded Medieval CC, but it didn't show up in my game, so I worked with the material I had. I chose a dress that looked like it was sewn by her mother, kind of old-timey looking. Her mother is not the greatest at customary female duties, so the dress reflects that. On the contrary, Thorul has a hidden talent for sewing, and the kids go to him if they want something special to wear. Asni has these huge boots, which look ridiculous, I'll admit that, but I would imagine is a necessity for the climate and the slums they live in. Her trait is fussy and she knows how to get what she wants with a tantrum. By the way, I love her skin overlay by Northern Siberia Winds, I believe. She looks so adorable with it on. The final child in this long Creative Sim is Gunnar Skira. If I were to be completely truthful and had a lie detector test hooked up to me right now, I'd have to admit that he is a little weird looking. For some reason, I always draw this comparison, but I sincerely believe he resembles a snapping turtle. I need to live in my truth and I will not be silenced. He is cute though, in some ways. I can't exactly enlist those ways, but I'm sure someone can. Honestly, he's cute in the way that like chihuahuas are cute, which is so weird that they're adorable. Okay, fine, I'm being harsh, I feel bad. I'll concede that infants in this game are impossible to be ugly, so he is not that. Anyway, for his trait, I can't recall what I gave him exactly, but I think he's like a little squirrel always on the go and loves to move. Irsa probably can't keep track of him because he is always crawling. Honestly, he reminds me of Jack Jack in this way from The Incredibles, and Irsa and Thorul likely have their hands full with these kids. Now that is all I have to say about this family. I apologize if I was talking a little fast in this video. I was rewatching and re-listening to my old voiceovers, and I previously recorded this voiceover about 5 times and all of them were so boring, so I wanted to make this one a little bit more fun. I know all of you have short attention spans from TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts, so I think the speed is much more appropriate for the time we're in. We are now approaching the end of this video. I have talked way too much this entire video, so thank you for watching. I apologize for the late upload, please don't kill me. I will upload a poll for the last spooky create a sim on my community tab. Remember my giveaway and look at my other socials in the description if you want to see more of me and get updates for videos. Thank you so much for 800 subscribers. Remember to subscribe, and if you have not clicked that notification bell, go do so now. I'm so grateful for my YouTube, and I am eternally appreciative of the motivation that you guys all inspire me. And if you like this video, check out my spooky playlist on my channel for more videos like this one. I had so much fun creating this series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!